Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Green Speeds podcast. We're here on the first episode of the series. I'm really excited to welcome you all to this amazing idea that we had over here with me, your host, Ruffles Green, and our co-host, the incredible and very talented Rose Deannan. Say hello, Rose.
Hello, everybody. It's me. It's the Rose. I'm the Anon. I'm the Anon before the Anon pony was existing. That's not true. I'm so happy to be here. Oh my god, this is so crazy.
I know, right? It's so cool. Like, we had this idea since like a month ago, and we wanted to just make it, go with it. And as soon as the movie came out, I was like, Rose, we have to do it. Let's go.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And we saw the movie and we were like, oh, this would be the perfect opportunity for episode 1.
Hell yeah. And so, now that you know what we're going to talk about today, and also because you read the title and it's literally there, I'm just gonna welcome everyone here because it's so cool to have you all just listening to us talking about things. We're gonna just upload episodes. I think we're gonna do at least one a week, which is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Very, very fun. We're gonna talk about many topics. And if you want to follow us on our social networks, there's gonna be a link to our Twitter on the description below. And remember to also subscribe if you haven't, because the more we are, the better.
Exactly. So, join the cult.
Yeah. Join the cult. Oh my god. But yeah. So Rose, what do you thought about the movie? About the horse movie?
So, okay. I have a lot of thoughts. But my main thing is that it was like, for the animation, it was phenomenal. It was really, to me, it was fun, it was colorful, and it was way out of my expectations that I thought it was originally gonna be. Like, because, you know, it's a kid's movie, so I thought, you know, it'll be cool, but not hella story-driven and stuff like that. The characters seemed full of personalities. There was like maybe one robotic character and it was a background character, and so like, but they were super like energetic and fun, and I was able to follow along very easily. I think overall it was a really great movie.
I know, and something that I loved about this movie, aside from the characters, which were fantastic by the way, is the visuals, because there was a lot of incredible visuals in this movie, a lot of things that catch the eye. I feel like there were some backgrounds that could easily be like wallpapers, like 100%.
100%.
There was this part when Sunny and Izzy were like running through the land, and there were like these backgrounds with the sunset and beautiful.
I will have to say, I feel like I kind of like, not on purpose foreshadowed a couple of things happening because I drew them assuming different. So like, the running through the meadows and stuff like that, and all the scenes where they go through the nighttime and it's all fairy lights and all that jazz, I drew that before I even knew that was gonna be a thing, and I was like, see, I knew they were gonna not disappoint.
Oh, hell yeah.
So Raw, what was your impressions? I mean, I had 9 out of 10 out of this movie, but like, what do you think?
Well, I feel like this movie, aside from the visuals, were fantastic. Talking about the characters a little bit, I had a lot of fun just learning about this new group, this new cast, this main 5 that the fandom are calling now, and they are very how can I say this? The variety on characters, it's big, and I love that. I was thinking about this like literally yesterday, about how none of the characters remind me of the main 6
at all.
They are completely new in so many ways. And you could say, like, for example, yeah, Itzy could probably be like Pinkie Pie because she's energetic and stuff, but she's not like Pinkie. She has like this type of personality where she actually thinks about the things she do. It's
I
more
feel like
reserved.
she's the most mature out of the 5.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is that she just likes to have fun, and I think that I can relate to that too at some point. And then you have like Sunny and also the princesses and Hitch, because actually I was very surprised with Hitch. I thought he was going to be very boring, but I actually enjoyed his appearance. That was
It was so crazy. I thought I was really gonna like. See, I don't like this character, so I don't remember his name. But one of the antagonists, the Red Pony, I thought I was gonna like him more because I thought, Red, Big Mac. Come on, he's gonna be one of those. But no, he was way out of my expectations.
No. You know who he reminded me of? There was this character in Jimmy Neutron. I don't remember his name. It was the one with the green shirt, and I thought exactly that the character was exactly like that. Just annoying, looking for power, just doing everything wrong, and thinking that he's right. In any other circumstances, it would be like an interesting villain, but I feel like they didn't go through with that. Like, they wanted him to be a villain, but at the same time, they didn't, and I just think that at least that part of the movie falls a little bit flat. I feel like the villain could have been more interesting, in my opinion.
See, that's the biggest thing, though, is like, who really was the villain? I don't think any of them was the villain, and we'll get into that because there is a question that that kind of like goes into all that, and that I'm sure that between both of us will take up half of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I agree. I feel like he kind of fell flat. It was not what I expected from what I thought the movie was gonna go. What I will say is I am very happy that the movie did not make the Queen a villain, because that is so incredibly common and a stereotypical thing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they just didn't do it.
About that. I was very worried about that when I saw it on the trailer. I was like, oh, well, you look at that, there's our villain.
Right, like all of our friends were like, that's the villain because she's the queen, and it's like that. I was like, I bet you $10 she's not gonna be, so where's my $10, everybody?
Hell yeah, where is my money? But no, it ended up being just another character that I actually liked. And that's something about this movie, it has a lot of surprises. Another character that I was talking about that actually surprised me as well was Sif, because I thought that she was going to be annoying. But she ended up being actually very cool. I like how they did it. They wrote this character in this movie.
See, I was worried because of the voice actress, because the voice actress, if you see her YouTube channel, it's very, don't get me wrong, it's very bubbly and outgoing, but like it's also semi-mature, and you gotta think like semi-mature going into a kid's movie, like what are you gonna expect? Like, what are they going to allow, so on and so forth, and especially since this is like a Hasbro thing, right? Like, all they are is toys and kids and stuff like that. So, when I found out that it was going to be Elijah Cozy, I was surprised, but she did so fucking well. I was so worried that character was going to fall flat, and she just blew it out of the water. She made, I think easily, she's one of my top favorites in the 5.
Yeah, and talking about the voice actors, you're right, because this character, the one that I was talking about, the quote-unquote villain of the story, he was voiced by a guy that actually played a huge role on the Hangover movies. And if you have seen them, you know that they are not a family friendly.
They sure are not. They really sure. Are you talking about what is his name?
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, because he plays, I don't know, he doesn't play Alphabetal. Who does he play?
He plays the Red Pony, the villain.
Oh my god, no wonder he was silly.
Yeah, like, he's literally the guy that has that meme, the one screaming, gay?
Gay! I love him so much, he's great.
I actually gonna look his name because I don't remember his name. But in the meantime, is there any other question that we have?
All right, so yeah, let's head into the questions. Did you? I guess we'll start with mine. Do you have yours?
I have them over here. Yeah.
Okay.
So, there's a couple of people that interacted on Twitter, because if you don't know, You can follow us on Twitter. The link, again, it will be in the description below. But we were asking about opinions on the movie. And so, one of the opinions that I got over here was actually from Proceros on Twitter, which thank you very much for participating on the show, which is very cool. But he says that he wished that the movie didn't limit themselves to only 3 races, that they could have included more races on the movie, talking about Kyrians, zebras, and bats, and all that stuff, which is actually very true, because if you remember back when Gen 4 ended, they had all these new characters from all these different races, and to go back to just the 3 pony races felt like a little bit like a downgrade to the expansive world that they had before, in a sense. But I just feel like it's okay, because remember that this is just the introduction.
Right, this is just the movie. Cast. This is like they're not going to put that much into a movie for a couple of reasons, and most of it is marketing. You gotta think of it in like a business sense. And I know not everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, My Little Pony business, but like as an artist, you kind of like think outside the box with these things. So, you know, they're not going to fit all of that stuff in there, because why would you even think about watching the show if they already put everything that you would suspect or want inside the movie? That you see what I'm saying? So, in that sense, I am a little like, but I also have a theory on it too. So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't put more races in there, but they did the same thing at the very, very beginning of season 1 of Gen 4. If you remember, like they didn't even have zebras at that point. So it was just like the main 3.
If I'm not mistaken, Sakura was not introduced like into like half of season 1. And then after Sakura, we just literally had what? I think the Griffon. What was her name?
Oh yeah, we have Gilda. Gilda, is that her name?
Gilda. Yeah.
And then of course Spike, but we thought that he was just like basically like, I don't know, a pet for the longest time.
Oh my god, and of course later we got like the Diamond Dogs and the Dragons, and then slowly getting into more races and stuff. But that's my point. The point is that this is just the introduction, guys. We still have an entire series coming next year, and that's gonna be very, very interesting to just see what they do, because there's a lot of story potential on this series, especially considering we need an explanation to what happened with Equestria. We need it. We
do, and there's a lot of theories popping up around what happened. I have my own headcanon, but I don't think so. Like in the movie, they were saying that you know, magic is lost. There's no way in hell that magic was 100% lost while they didn't have magic. And the only reason I'm saying that is because if the theory is that you know, everything grew by themselves, and now all of a sudden, you know, they have to be taken care of, and so on and so forth. It's like the magic tree, and the several magic trees inside of Gen 4. You gotta realize, in a sense, the Earth is magic, so they may not have magic, but magic is not gone. So I'm sure they're just gonna find it in different places, or sometimes it just goes dormant, and that's something that I personally think might have happened.
Oh no, I just feel like it's as simple as the movie puts it. It's just the magic of friendship, you know? Because there was like a line that Izzy said like at the beginning of the movie, in where she was trying to explain that the unicorns used to have magic, but then it disappeared. And so she knows that happened. She probably lived it. So it probably didn't happen so long ago.
But the division definitely did happen before she was born.
Oh yeah, so I think that I think what happened is that they still had magic. They could still fly. They could still do spells and stuff. But with time, it just got like weaker until the point that it disappeared. Like I don't think it just disappeared overnight.
No, it definitely couldn't have, because otherwise, I mean, Izzy didn't leave her place until after the magic left. So she was probably already in her head thinking, maybe I should go find some help outside of my town because nobody else in my town knows what's going on, so I should go figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah, she did find the drawing that Sunny made when she was a kid.
Exactly. So, I mean, she would see that paper and say, oh shit, I'm gonna be able to go and fix this because I was, chosen.
I mean, they are the chosen ones. I'm very happy that there was not like a prophecy or something like that, which, it's very common nowadays. I just feel like this movie was very good. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I don't know, I feel like it was something that I needed, because it's been a while since I just sit down and just enjoyed watching horses on the screen.
Right.
Which it was really cool, to be honest. And I still listen to the songs to this day.
I know you're almost memorizing one of them, and I swear to God, I was like,
oh hell yeah!
I was like, oh, you're already memorizing it. I got you.
Yeah, that beginning song of Sunny just going, "This is gonna be my day."
My favorite one is Izzy's part, not the one she starts in the meadows when we get to her house. That's the one I like the most, and it's mainly because I've always loved the voice actor. Like, she's been in musicals. She's just a really good singer to begin with. So picking her as a main voice actress was a very smart idea because she really does have a twang to her accent. And because of that, it's just adorable. I love it. I like listening to her. She sounds younger than the rest, but she definitely looks older than the rest.
The one that looks younger is actually Pip.
Pip looks the youngest when you see her amongst the rest of them. And that's another thing. They did a phenomenal job with body types. We got a tall, medium, short pony. We got a burly man, a skinny villain, a scrawny.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
Pip
so much variety.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Of course, they were using bases in Gen 4 because it's a show, and I'm sure they will do the same thing with the TV show. But that being said, for the movie, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, like definitely, and this is something that actually became a meme on Twitter about Pip being little. Have you seen the memes of little Pip?
The memes that I have seen about Pip is her having a head and 2 hooves and wings. or her being extremely stretched out and long because she's just so short.
Small. I love them so much. Like, I just feel like this fandom is just gonna be forever, and I love that feeling where it's just people enjoying horses, And
right. Oh yeah.
It's very cool.
Do we have any more comments or opinions?
Yeah. Okay. So the next one would be by Alope on Twitter, which also, again, thank you very much for participating on the tweet. Which says that his favorite part of the movie was Izzy and everything that had to do with her. And you know what? I agree. She's like best pony of this generation already. No one can change my mind.
You just love the purple unicorns. That's the thing here.
I don't know why. They always caught my eye. They are always the best. Starlight, come on.
Oh God, I have so many opinions about Starlight. We're not gonna get into that. That's a whole episode by itself.
Leave me. But yeah. Oh my God. But and okay, the last one that I have over here, it would be by one second, I have it over here on the notes. Anxiety Princess on Twitter, which also thank you very much for participating. That said that her favorite part of the movie was when they were on the Unicorn Village and they used the forbidden word to escape.
All of them. The was it mayonnaise magic and
yeah.
I think it was Crystal. I don't remember what the first one is. All I know is that mayonnaise and magic are the two, like, major no-nos.
Bing bong.
Oh, that's something that I thought was so cool that they integrated, because we know that is the Everfree. And, I mean, it's named something different now, but on the map, that is where Everfree is. They are living in the Everfree forest. And, you gotta think, even back in Gen 4, they had their own, Zecora had her own, like, don't say this, and be careful of that, and all that jazz, right? Now it's integrated into the unicorn culture, because, I mean, years and years and years of stuff like that. I don't know why mayonnaise, of all things, that could be a theory as to, like, somebody was eating mayonnaise and all of a sudden magic stopped. Maybe that's a thing.
You know what? I believe it. Oh my god, but yes, I would never forget the moment where they escaped just saying mayonnaise and everyone was just bing bong and bing bong.
And friggin' Alphabeto being like, you'll pay for this! As if you know for a fact that you could stop at any moment and go chase them.
I know, right? So cool. And okay, and the last one that I have over here would be by Kyra Brooks, also on Twitter. Thank you. And she says that she watched the movie trying to keep an open mind, because she knew that this was not Gen 4, that this was like an entirely new iteration. But it was like a very nice touch to have the Gen 4 characters at the beginning of the movie, with that 2D animation at the beginning.
Yes, oh my god, and the artwork, and then I was on Twitter this morning and I saw who the person was who drew the concept art for it. And I was like, hot damn, it's another one of the fans. And I thought that was so amazing, because you just don't, at least back then, you didn't see a lot of, like, artists being able to participate and be in the industry. And this was like, everybody I knew, everybody I follow is in the movie.
I know, right? And it's so cool. Like, it was literally a brony who designed these characters. And it was so cool. Which, by the way, if you don't know who was the artist, her name is Imalo. She is on Twitter. She's amazing. I'm gonna link also the link of her below, because she deserves the recognition. She did an incredible job on making these characters feel alive, and that's something that I always appreciate. And it's so cool as well, because bronies just having a part on the show, that's something that was practically unbelievable at the beginning of Gen 4.
Right, because we were basing it off of what a normal TV series would, like, yeah, we're fans, but they're gonna do what they want because it's their show, and now it's our show.
It's our now.
Yes. So I have some questions for us to answer, and they're all from Twitter, and I'll say their name. But I think this is gonna, like, fill up some space, but more importantly, really get our gears going for, we have to wait a while before we get our next dose of heroin. So.
Wait, hold on.
What kind of show is this?
Wait, alright, you're the one that smokes weed. Which, by the way, how are you right now, Rose? How are you feeling?
I'm great.
Awesome.
Before, during, and after.
Oh my god.
Alright, so we have a couple of questions I'd like. So, I'm pretty sure I already know your answer to this, but for all of our viewers out there who didn't catch the hint, that one fox from Twitter asked, fave pony of the new main 5.
Easy.
Izzy, and why Izzy?
Literally easy. Cause she's, like, very enthusiastic, but she knows how to be like serious, and she knows what to do, and she's not like another copy of Pinkie Pie, which, don't get me wrong, I love Pinkie Pie. She's also one of my favorite characters ever. But I just like Izzy because she knows how to control herself. She loves to have fun with friends, and she especially is like the life of the group, because I feel like there was this scene where they were trying to like go past a bridge, but the bridge was like destroyed. And so when everyone was discussing what to do and everything, she just destroyed a tree to make the path.
Right, she was like, y'all can argue all you want, but like, we need to get shit done. So she got shit done.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, when you have a character that knows how to have fun and knows how to be serious when they need to, then you have a complete character that also you can relate. Because that's me, literally. I love to have fun with my friends. But in the occasions where I need to be serious about something, where I know what I have to do, then I'm gonna do that. And
why isn't Izzy the main character? Because our main character kind of fell flat on a lot of like leadership skills.
I feel like Sunny is our main character because they needed a pony that was literally not integrated into the world. Because all she knew about the world was what her father told her.
Well, I mean, all of them were kind of like that. I mean, each one that we were introduced to, they all were fed false propaganda. I mean, Pegasi and unicorns thought that Earth ponies were stupid, when in fact they actually are very, very smart, just in a different way. And then, of course, like, unicorns want to read your mind and zap you and eat you, and, you know, Pegasi, they want to, I don't know, swoop you down and get ya.
Remember the Pegasi goggles?
Oh, yes.
I invented, yes.
What a touch, what a touch. Because it's funny, because we actually do have binoculars like that for diving and stuff. So, that to me, it was just kind of weird that they integrated that, but it was just a funny design altogether. All of the designs were really cute and funny that came from, what was it, Logitech or something like that? Or something.
I think it was something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the big industry that was inside of, that was running the Earth Pony town.
Yeah, the defenses in case the other races invaded.
Yeah. Alrighty.
But anyways, and I guess I also liked her design because I don't know, just a purple pony with the multicolored hair and also the friendship bracelets. That's something that I love. And yeah, like I feel like those are the reasons why I feel like it's my favorite character. I don't know if I'm gonna change my opinion on the future, probably with the series. Because I remember that at the beginning of Gen 4, actually, Applejack was my favorite.
That's actually hard for me to hear because, no. You and Applejack? I don't see that as a pair.
I just felt like she was very cool. And because she was like the smart one of the group. Smarter even than Twilight. Because I feel like Twilight on the earlier seasons did a lot of stupid shit. And there was always Applejack just saying, could you please not? Yeah. Could you, like, not do that?
Applejack was just, I mean, to be fair, when you don't have, you know, the abilities that everybody else has, I can't fly and I can't levitate and all this jazz, you kind of have to step up your game, you know?
And she was smart and she was always, like, the head of the group.
Well, she also, it was her and Rarity that they already had businesses. I mean, with Applejack, you know, she was born into a business, which is farming and the apple works and whatnot. And, you know, Rarity, who, in my opinion, was one of the more mature, yet I know very sassy main characters, she also had a business. She was already very mature and well above everybody else. You got an entering-in student, an introvert, an arrogant pony, and 2 business ponies. So at least we had that, you know. But the crazy part about this generation is none of them, except for Hitch, maybe Sunny. Sunny has like an odd side job, but like I don't even really consider that. That's like a 15-year-old's job. I'm selling smoothies. That, you know, Hitch is the only one who actually has a legitimate job that we know thus far.
I mean, it's not like a job, but I was gonna mention the princesses, which are Pip and Zip, because it's not like a job per se, but they did have like a responsibility, even if it was like lying to everyone, to maintain the peace and to make them feel like they were protected and stuff. The Pegasi.
Maybe Zip, but not Pip. I'm sorry, but Pip took full advantage of just being popular.
Oh, okay. She loved the fame.
She was definitely our influencer.
Yeah, she got into that. The fame got into her brain, and she loved it. Like, she was mad as fuck after that incident happened.
That's the only thing I will say, like, my least favorite pony has to be Pip, and it's because she didn't make sense after, like, if I was pissed, like, legitimately, if I had not only been told or been shown, I've been told by my parent, I don't know if they have a dad, but I'm just gonna say the queen, I have to do this because I have to not only do this to, make sure that we stay at our status quo, but also to make sure that our citizens feel safe. And then all of that got whiffed under from one stupid fucking crystal. I would have broken the fucking thing. Why wasn't that the first thing that she did? She found it, she goes up to him and says, I want to know why, everything is so fucking important to this crystal, and immediately smash it. She didn't do that, she just gave it back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, are you mad? Why are you helping us? If you're like, what? We just destroyed your entire life. Why are you helping us?
I honestly think it has to do with the fact that Zip is the older sister, so she's not going to impede on that.
Yeah, I guess, but still, it's kind of weird.
It is.
And what you were saying is true. Pip is, I don't know. I feel like she's also my least favorite from the main cast, because I just don't feel like I can connect to her in any way. I guess besides looking at the appeal of social media and stuff.
Maybe one day we'll both understand how she feels, because we'll be heckin' famous and, like,
Hell yeah, we'll be heckin' famous, we'll be everywhere, receiving sponsorships. Think on the money, Rose, that we're gonna get. Hell yeah.
I can't even think about that.
Oh my god. First episode, and we're already thinking about living the fame.
The high life. That means we have to, everybody, hype us up. Tell everybody about us, and tell them how awesome we are. Don't give them disappointing reviews. Only 5 stars on Yelp.
Only 5. Oh my god, Yelp.
I'm such a boomer. I'm sorry. Okay. So
Facebook user.
You don't judge me.
But okay, going back, yeah. Who would be your favorite character?
See, I'm biased because I know all of the voice actors, and it's because it's of our generation. At least a couple of them were. So I'm gonna have to side with you on Izzy because she just is. Sunny fell flat, in my opinion, and it was a little disappointing, but to be expected, because how are you going to make a story on an already perfect character? You can't. But Izzy, on the other hand, they just wrote her better than the rest of the cast. And in my opinion, just like how with Gen 4, how basically everybody was doing Twilight's work for her, that's what Izzy's going to do. And then at one point, I'm sure Izzy's going to have to put her hoof down and say, listen, Sunny, you're the Alicorn here. You're the Ascended. Like, fix it. I'm tired of always doing this for you, Like, I'm your friend, not your servant,
Yeah, that could happen. But that's the thing. Do you really think that she's gonna stay as an Alicorn? Sunny?
I don't think that she is. There's no way, merchandise-wise, right? We already knew that she was going to be an Alicorn because that's what the merch said. But that being said, it is so much more different than what we were expecting from Gen 4.
Yeah.
Izzy even brings this up, that each horn is unique to each unicorn. So what if the wings and the horn, their uniqueness is just her being a leader? So they, you know how in Equestria Girls, right, where they're their normal selves until absolute necessary. This is that kind of thing. I think that's going on. So it's not going to be there majority of the time, but like when needed, it's going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be like that. I feel it's going to be like when we're about to battle or when something important happens, they're just going to go.
Super stressful situations. I think it's going to pop out.
But no, I don't feel like it's going to be permanent, because they even looked like translucent, fake,
real. However you want to put it. Like even in the movie, it didn't seem. That is, I will say this one thing about the movie that kind of dropped me a little bit from being a 10 to 10 to a 9 to 10. The backgrounds were nice, but they were not what I expected. Like if there was a flat piece of land, you got no depth in that. I felt it was extremely flat for majority of the movie, unless you were doing some weird camera angles or something like that. So when she turned into an Alicorn, it was not really, it didn't make me feel anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, cool, she's an Alicorn now.
Oh, interesting. No, I had a different opinion on the ending. Because I feel like you would be the one resonating with more people, but I actually have to play like devil's
advocate.
Yeah, on this one, because I loved it ending. I feel like it makes sense. The MacGuffins, we're gonna talk about them, but I feel like the most important part here was that Sunny already knew the answer from the very beginning. She just needed like a confirmation that was it.
Right, because all she had was her dad. You know? I mean, all she had reassuring her was her father, and when her father died at God knows what time in her life, she had nobody. Yeah. Because everybody was like, no, your dad was a kook. You're a kook. You know?
Yeah, but, you know, imagine this. Imagine that your father is telling you this side of the world, and you believe it with all your heart. You're just not gonna stop like believing in that even after that person is gone. You're gonna have it even deeper in your heart.
Exactly, because you're like,
that meant a lot for that person. Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why I think that Sunny already knew the answer all along. That friendship was actually the real magic.
It's crazy to me though, because he's a historian. Literally, his character is what I wanted Jordan's character to be. My husband, by the way, for nobody knows who that is. His whole thing was being a historian, being, you know, not necessarily a guiding light, but like, you know, he dug into the histories, found out the flaws, found out the goods. He knew what was going on. The same thing with Sunny's dad. Like, how do you not? I just don't understand that. He is literally supposed to represent what a historian is in a sense. He has all of this proof and document in his house that I'm sure he has shown everybody, and everybody's just ignoring it. Yeah. How do you... He literally is in charge of the place to keep you safe from coming into shore. I think you should give him some sort of credit.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But I feel like that's something real in history. Where if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And no one remembered how Equestria was before the races were separated.
That's
no
the
one
thing,
besides
though.
him, because no one bothered. No one bothered to look it up. And everyone just sat down and said, okay, those are our enemies. That's how it has been. That's how it's always gonna be.
Okay, so let's move on with the questions, because there's actually I want to try to explain this the best I can with the theory that I have, because it encases why I think magic went away and also what happened between Gen 4 and Gen 4 and Gen 5.
Yeah, and because talking about the history, there's a lot of things we don't know, because it's been like thousands of years.
Right, and like Discord, he technically is a benevolent god, so like where the fuck is he and what happened to him, right?
You know, I have the theory that he just decided to not interact with ponies anymore because.
I mean, he is a chaos god of magic. I'm pretty sure. So there's a theory out there, right? That there isn't a theory actually. It's legitimate science where energy isn't gone. It just changes, right? Mm-hmm. I think he just changed. He just isn't Discord anymore. He's something else, and if that is just magic itself or some other entity, we'll never know. A really cool thing that MLP does is they bring back, cameos, Easter eggs, just older characters from older generations as problems in the future. So he could easily pop back up if the writers decide to do that.
It could happen, although I don't know if they could still pay John Delancey.
No, hell no. Hell to the fuck no. That guy's expensive.
No, but I think that Discord, at least this is my theory, this is my headcanon, guys. I feel like he just decided to not interact with ponies anymore after losing Fluttershy. Because you know that was literally the only reason he interacted with the horses. Because he loved Fluttershy. They actually ended up together at the end. Don't at me.
They did, and no one can deny it. It doesn't matter if you don't like the ship or not. It happened, and also, my canon, that fucking, Dirt Horse and Flutter Horse, not the other one, the blue one.
Yeah.
They got together. And that was my hell yeah, fuck yeah. Rarity didn't get anybody, but that's okay.
She's married to her job.
Oh god. I feel like it's me, but I'm married, so.
Yeah. No. You don't count. We know your story, Furls.
Oh yeah. So, our next question comes from Coma Blitz on Twitter. I think I'm saying that right. The question is, what is the most emotional scene for you during the movie? So, like, when you were either at your happiest, or, like, I would say, like, when you started to cry, or when you felt the most during the movie.
I'll let you answer this one first, because I need to think about it.
Then I'll go first, because my thing, like, was right from the get-go, when I was a kid. So, like, a lot of people know this about me, but I don't really share this on social media because I don't like interacting with other people who have differing opinions on beliefs and stuff like that. I'm a Wiccan, and because I am a Wiccan, a lot of people think that my religion is fake or that it's false or anything that I have physical proof of that it existed in the past. You know, they brush it off. And when Sunny was playing her game with the boys, and, you know, you have your best friend there who is, like, supporting you and loving you, and then you have, like, another friend that's like, no, you're stupid, blah, 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 like, this isn't real, you're just hallucinating or some shit like that, and then your best friend agrees with the person who's making fun of you. That hit me hard, because I've had that throughout my life, and I was just like, damn. And then, of course, the parent dying, that really solidified it, because, you know, it's one thing for people to think you're crazy and it just be a kid thing. But when you're alone and people think that you're crazy, that is so hard to keep an optimistic view. And Sunny did just that. She was like, I know all odds are against me, but I'm going to do the thing that I know is right. And in that sense, I feel like I really, really connected with that part of the movie, because, you know, I have lost a parent, and I have had friends that have told me that I'm never going to succeed in my career, or that what I'm thinking with my religion is wrong, and all that jazz. So, right from the get-go, I feel like I was very attracted, and I say attracted, but, you know, I was very, like, emotional right from the get-go, because it vibed with me very, very well.
Yeah, and, you know, that's true. I think that would resonate with a lot of people. Because it's true, most of us, we have our own beliefs on the world, and it's not fair for other people to just make fun of us because we believe that something is not right, or something, it shouldn't be like that. It's just what we believe, it's our beliefs, and everyone needs to show respect. Everyone needs to know that not everyone has the same thoughts, the same opinions. We are all human. We don't have the same mentality as everyone else. That would be boring.
We have different experiences as people, period, you know?
We have different experiences. We like different things. That's just normal. And so we just need to learn about just knowing how to deal with those differences and just be
I really think Gen 5 is going to do that for us. It's going to teach us in a way how to address a stereotype and break it down, and then either, you know, quote unquote deal with it or dismiss it, you know, because it's not fair that people get stereotypes brought upon them because people are bigoted and misinformed, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, now that we're talking about the movie and things that actually made us emotional, I would say that there was this part of the movie, like, I think it was, like, exactly at the beginning. And I feel like seeing the main six appear on the screen again, it was literally at the beginning of the movie, like the first 5 minutes.
They knew what they were doing.
Exactly. They knew what they were doing because I was literally, like, I couldn't believe my eyes that I was watching those characters again after so many months. That made me so emotional. And I was just very happy. I had that smile, that characteristic smile that goes from one side of the face to the other.
Yes.
And I was like, hell yeah, we're back. This is so cool. Like, it hyped me up so much. It hyped me even more than those trailers that we received before. Because, to be honest, the trailers for this movie were not that good.
But I think they had to do that because otherwise, if they would have shown like the juicy parts, the parts that normally catch the viewer's eye, then the movie wouldn't be good. Because all of the parts that they showed were the parts that we just already expected. It was already the I wouldn't call them the boring parts, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the parts that they're the fillers between the epics.
And also this scene when Sunny got into the convention. And everything practically went wrong. And she just ended in front of everyone, just being all embarrassed and stuff. And damn, that's just sad. It's sad when you know you are right about something and everyone is just telling you no.
There was this episode in Gen 4 where Twilight, it was a season finale. It was one of the season finales where Twilight, and we all know this, Princess Cadence was taken over or disguised as, and she was actually Chrysalis. And there was a whole lesson about this, how, you know, even though everybody was against Twilight, Twilight stuck to her guns. And even though Twilight felt alone, she felt like everybody was making fun of her. These are her closest, most, what was I going to say? Something, very, very close party of people. Very close friends, families, and stuff like that, telling her, you're wrong. You need to stop acting the way that you're acting. You're going crazy because, like, we've known this bitch for years. You've known this bitch for years. Like, why are you acting? Like, she just knows in her mind that something's not right. And you're standing on a stage, or at least Sunny is. She's standing on a stage and all of these people are just like, you need to, like, figure your shit out. You're stupid. you know?
Yeah, like, get with the program, you stupid idiot. But she didn't like conform to that because she had her beliefs, she fought for them, and she actually succeeded at the end, which is a very important lesson for all kids out there, even adults. You just have to stand your ground. If you believe that something is right, then go for it. It's completely fine. Believe in what you want to believe. The world is all for you.
It is, but please do not infringe on other people's rights.
Yeah, like, as long as it's legal, we have to specify here, as long as it's legal and right, then go ahead.
Right. Don't say that what your beliefs are better than other beliefs, and don't go out there and say that, you know, my way of thinking is any better or more justified than another person's thought process, simply because something that I was taught as a kid, even before I got glasses, is 4 eyes are better than 2. So you got to think of it as we're all in an odd way connected. So I would just say like be mindful of other people. Because they have experiences that we will never be able to experience those experiences, not ever. So even if you were in the same room, that person experienced whatever y'all are experiencing in a very different manner than you did. So always consider that, you know, whenever you're, say, meeting a new person, or you're judging the old man on the side of the road who's trying to get some money for his lunch. Like, think about that before you decide, oh, that's just a hobo, or that girl's preppy and, like, doing all that jazz just for attention kind of deal.
And that's something very cool that this movie teaches, that you have to just know to respect differences and know how to get along with everyone, because no one is the same. Like I said before, that would be boring. And besides that, and I feel like besides all the characters and all the lessons that we learn and stuff, it was actually also a very fun movie. Like, fun in the way of the jokes, and on the way that I was laughing all the way through.
Yes.
There are a lot of good things on this movie, which, oh my god, I didn't expect to like it so much.
I really didn't think so, but one of my favorite scenes is the tower where Zip goes to study flight. She's a fucking nerd, dude. Oh my god, I love that so fucking much. Like, she has her own hideout to just nerd out and think about history and science and just stuff you wouldn't expect a princess to do.
That's cool. There was this recurring joke about the guy with the balloons that I absolutely love, which, if you had actually a little bit of attention to all the scenes, you would see that he's actually in a lot of the movie. You just had to look for it on the background, which is very cool. And then you had like characters like Easy and some characters in the background, which added a lot of fun into this movie. Like, there was a lot of interaction with the background ponies, which is something that I love.
Right.
Like, you'll hear sometimes just a pony in the background screaming, "Where is the bathroom?"
Right, like you just like it's something I really enjoyed about the movie when it came to the animation and the voiceovers and the sound and everything. Normally when you have crowds and stuff like that, I think I said this in our first recording that got fucked. But most of the time it just sounds like a jumble of stuff instead of voices on other voices. Because crowds are not, I mean, if it gets to a point of like thousands upon thousands of people or ponies or whatever, I can understand that, but reasonably how many ponies were inside of that building, it wouldn't have sounded the way that the animators normally make it sound. The way that they made it sound in the movie, I thought was a lot more realistic, because that's how crowds quiet down. It's not just instantaneously silent. There's always that one or two people who didn't hear, or they're just finishing up a conversation, or I need to go to the bathroom. Like, it's just simple stuff like that. And I felt like that was a very nice touch. I liked that. Yeah,
and you also had like breaks to the fourth wall. You had references to the real world.
I think didn't Izzy was breaking fourth wall.
Yeah, and there was also, remember the scene where like something hits the camera and then the camera falls down. That was great.
That's another theory that I have inside my head, that this is all just a fucking documentary. Like the movie itself was just a documentary starting off the season. It could have simply been that.
Something like a show inside a show. We're getting like 2,000 levels of meta here, guys.
We're breaking the fifth wall.
Hell yeah, we're breaking all the walls. Now we're leaving the outside.
Okay, so now we have the last question, which is probably going to take up majority, or if not the rest of the cast. So, this one, how much time do we have?
Around like 10 minutes.
Oh, God. Alright. We'll try to be as concise with this as possible. What is your theory? This is from Alop Ruby from Twitter. And the question is, what is your theory on the events that occurred in between generations 4 and 5? So basically, what made Gen 5 Gen 5?
Ooh, okay. Well, my headcanon was that after Twilight died, because actually, if you don't know, guys, Alicorns actually age. They just age slower than everyone else.
Right.
I just feel like after the land was just and I forgot about Flurry Heart, but I guess that after they died and stuff, just people were trying to find a way to just continue what Twilight started, which was getting along with each other and stuff. Something might have happened and I don't know what it was. Probably a war started, or probably some villain came back just to have revenge and actually had something working there. Which you have to remember, the villains of the last season actually were just turned into stone, and because of Discord we know exactly
how you can get rid of that stone. You could literally bring them back, quote unquote, the redemption. Only Alicorns can do it, and there were Alicorns present before all of them died. So
you could imagine that at some point they got out and their plan actually worked, dividing all the races and making Equestria actually fail what Twilight and the main six worked so hard for. And after so many generations, after so many years, then we got to the Gen 5 world, and where now everyone is separated and everyone hates each other. So my theory is that happened. I feel like at some point they just got out, they made chaos, and they just let everyone just hate each other. And that's just sad if you think about it, because practically all the finale of Gen 4 was actually for nothing. But for like 10 years of peace.
So how much... The only reason I'm going to have to disagree with you on that is because there are some plot holes to that, simply to, if we were to look back on the past, right? Who was the last person that we left off on besides our main six, right? Who was it? Lusterdon?
Twilight student.
Right. She could have easily just been another who was the bacon horse?
Sunset Shimmer.
She could have been just another Sunset Shimmer, and she could have tried her best, done something wrong, and then in the end turned evil herself. Unintentionally, of course, but still then. But that being said, we know for a fact within this world that there is some ungodly fucking magic that we can't, like, not even Alicorns can really understand or master, because at the end of the day, Alicorns only ascend when a situation addresses it. So, like, for Twilight, it was mastering a spell, but then we also see that Glimmer knows even better spells, right? It has to be something groundbreaking for an Alicorn to become an Alicorn, but you still stick with about the same amount of magic that you had last time. You still have to learn the things that you have to learn to be more powerful. And we know.
A character becoming an Alicorn was very special on Gen 4.
Right, because, and we're starting off with an Alicorn right from the get-go.
Yeah, and this is the thing, because the world doesn't have Alicorns anymore. I just saw it like something that the world just accepts because there's no other. Like, you have to remember, Alicorns were royalty. If you were an Alicorn, you were considered a princess or a prince of whatever. But without Alicorns for so many years, you just have this horse that has a horn and wings and stuff, and they're just like everyone else. They're just like, oh, so you have wings and a horn, okay. That's fine. We already have our rulers.
Right.
So
and that's
whatever.
like, that's the whole new gen, because the old gen, I mean, if we look back in like the old history of Celestia and Luna, they technically weren't royalty. Something had happened. If I remember correctly, it was the Wendigos, right? The Wendigos had separated and made everything very, very bad for the ponies back then, and it took Celestia and Luna telling people, hey, fix your shit. And then they ascended via raising and lowering the sun and the moon. How
Yeah,
the hell
because
does that have any implication to being royalty? I think a lot of it has to do with having to take a leadership role.
Yeah, it might be. It might be actually because there was actually this play that they did, like I think it was like on season 9, explaining how Celestia came to power. And it was like, I remember that before they were like in charge of the sun and the moon, there were actual unicorns that used to do that. But
Right,
they
lots
used
of them.
all their power every night in order to do that. And so then you have like Celestia with her already Alicorn powers. She just came and just did it, and then since then she's like royalty and she's like so important in the world. But then on the season 4 finale, we see that Twilight, just by getting her magic, she can also lower and rise the sun and the moon all by herself. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's just magic in this world.
Right.
It's so unpredictable.
It is. Something that is very, very prevalent that I think has a lot to do with what happens between 4 and 5, has a lot to do with magic. So, like, here is my theory. As a Wiccan, thinking of magic and stuff like that a little bit differently than most people, everything that I revolve around when it comes to magic has everything to do with fluctuation. So, there are sometimes, like, being in October, everybody calls this the witching hour, this is the witch month, this is the spooky month, this is, and you have the stereotype where at like 3 o'clock in the morning, that's the witching hour, and that's when all like the energy and stuff like that happens. It's something similar to that, because magic isn't at a steady. Nothing is at a steady. So everything has their ups and their downs and their blackouts and their not blackouts, right?
Yeah.
What I think honestly happened is, look at how much energy and time and effort went into the Generation 4. A lot of shit magically happened. You had literal catastrophic shit happening to the world because of magic. What if, at some point in time, because of either excess use of it, or we decided we don't really need it, at least like for majority of the things, we're using it for simple tasks like sweeping and putting stuff together, levitation, and for Pegasi it's just flying. Instead of using it for what we used it in Gen 4, they kind of stopped doing that because it wasn't a necessity anymore. They have legit fucking cell towers now. They don't need the technology that, you would normally, the magic that you would use for the technology normally in its place, it's been out, you don't need that anymore. So what if it just decided, you don't really need us right now, so dip, and then because the magic decided it was going to, like, go dormant for a little while, the races started blaming each other for that reason. Magic is gone. I can't fly. It's the unicorn's fault. It's the not the Pegasi's fault. It's the Earth Pony's fault. They did something, and rumors started spreading, and so on and so forth. But even if we were to go further back, we had all of those races, right? What if it was just a massive blame game? Like, no, it was the fucking Griffins and the fucking,
You know what? That could have happened. It's actually possible. There is actually this movie that came out not long ago of Pixar. What was the name? It was like, it's one of the newest movies, okay? But it was literally that. A world where magic existed, but since technology came and established itself and practically no one needed magic anymore, then it just stopped working. And the world just lost their magic. That's literally what could have happened on this occasion, on this world, on Equestria.
It could also simply be that, so you know how Twilight didn't originally value the magic of friendship, or friendship period, right?
Yeah.
What if ponies just stopped valuing magic, and because they stopped valuing the friendship and the unity, because it doesn't take one to perform a ritual. You can, but it's not, like, if you were to go into the Christianity sense of it, right? There's a line in the Bible that says, that one is good, but multiple amplifies it, right?
Yeah.
If one kind of pony is doing one thing, cool, we have a little bit of magic, but if we had all of them together, then it would make it 10 times better. So if we stop valuing what magic is and unity that brings us together, no shit, magic is gonna disappear because the thing that drives it is gone.
Yeah, that's true. And that's actually a very good idea. I like your headcanon. That needs to be written somewhere.
I legit fell asleep to this shit.
But yeah, that's very cool. But anyways, I think that would be all for today, because we're out of time now.
Yeah, I know.
So,
we went past about like 10 minutes.
yeah, something like that. But in any case, I just want to thank everyone that has listened so far. Like, if you are here after an hour of us talking, you are awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you're amazing. You deserve a golden star.
You get 2 because there's 2 of us here.
Yeah, each of us are gonna give you a golden star. Oh my god, but yeah. So I think that'll be all for today. So thank you very much for listening to this first episode of our podcast, of the Green Beans Podcast. Remember, you can still follow us on Twitter, and if you haven't subscribed yet, which after an hour, I don't know why you haven't,
right?
Just feel free to do it down below as well. Give it a like, and do all that sort of thing that YouTube people do.
We're VTubers now. You have to do what we say because that is the way. That's the way.
That is the way, correct. But anyway, so thank you very much for listening to this podcast, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.